Hello all. So welcome to the second session. In the first session we have discussed about the basic things of microprocessor. How does a system with microprocessor, or what are the components of the system having the microprocessor. Today we shall be continuing with the transient program area where we have stopped. So transient program area, as we already know, has the disk operating system within it. Along with that, it will be having the programs which are active and inactive, DOS programs. So we will be having the memory map of the transient program area in this slide. So this transient program area consists of interrupt vectors, BIOS communication area, DOS communication area, IO.sys program, MS-DOS program, device drivers, command.com, and some of the free memory for extra components, extra system softwares. Along with that, last will be having the MS-DOS program. In the left hand side of the memory map of the TPA, there will be a numbering system. So this numbering system is a hexadecimal numbering system which specifies the memory location or a memory address the particular area of the TPA occupies. So it starts from 0000 to FFFF. So to make the representation, memory location representation easier, we will be using the hexadecimal number system. So in this we shall be studying more about the components of the transient program area. So first one is the interrupt vectors. What does the interrupt vector will do? It accesses the DOS, BIOS, that is basic input output system, and the applications. When a system is booted, the interrupt vector will arise the interrupts that we will be studying in the next sessions. Interrupts will rise so that system will generate or system will load the basic system software needed to run the personal computer. Along with that, the areas containing transient data access the input output device and the internal features of the system. Extra components if you have connected with that. So it will be loaded, related system software related to those extra components will be loaded. So mainly system interrupt vectors work on DOS and the BIOS command. Next comes is the BIOS and the DOS communication area. BIOS communication area works with the BIOS system. Interrupt vector just loads it. BIOS system area will load all the functions that are needed to reboot the or boot the system entirely. Along with that, DOS communication area, interrupt vector loads the system, whereas communication with the DOS will be possible only with the DOS system software loaded in the DOS communication area. Next comes is the IO.sys program. As the name itself indicates, IO is input output. So it is related to the input output devices. When you boot the system, you can observe all the components connected to system like mouse, keyboard will blink, so that it specifies that the components are connected to the processor. So how does it brings is, when the system is booted, the IO.sys within the transient program area will load the system's drivers, system softwares related to the keyboard. If you have keyboard related software will be loaded. If you have mouse related software will be loaded. Where does it is loaded is in the IO.sys area. So it loads the TPA from the disk, the MS-DOS and the other system softwares needed. Along with this, IO.sys also contains the programs that allow disk operating system to use the peripheral, extra peripheral components, like if you are connected to scanner, if you are connected to printer, or if you are connected to joystick or other IO devices. Any IO devices, when it is loaded or connected to the system, system software related to those components will be accessed by the IO.sys part of the TPA. Along with this, it links the DOS and the BIOS system that we have already studied. Next comes is the drivers, device drivers. As we already know, we will be having various devices connected to our personal computer. So, drivers are the program that control installable I/O devices which can be installed, like if you have a digital camera, or if you have a video camera, or if you have a microphone, or if you have a speaker, extra components are to be installed. The default systems are, as you know, keyboard, mouse, monitors, other system softwares which are already there, but extra component we are adding. Those each component will have its own device driver to recognize that particular device. So, this driver part of the microprocessor or the TPA will control the installable I/O devices. So, it will be having either a CD-ROM or DVD or any installable devices. So, along with this, we will be having DOS drivers have an extension of .sys for different components. So, after the device drivers, we will be having the command.com. So, what does the command.com will do? It controls the operation of the computer from the keyboard when the system is operated in a disk operating system mode, because as you are familiar, DOS mode does not have the graphical user interface. So, to work with the DOS, we need different commands. So, who is going to interpret those commands delivered will be the command.com in the transient program area. So, the command.com controls the operation in the DOS mode. It also processes the DOS commands as they are typed in the keyboard. If the command.com is erased, your entire disk operating system will become useless. So, you need command.com to run the disk operating system. So, these are the components of the transient program area. Along with this, we will be having extended transient program area, where other extra components installed in the computers will be loaded. So, lastly, as we already know, MS-DOS is the mandatory part of the TPA, which is loaded in the last part of the location. Along with TPA, the next part of the memory is the system area. So, the system area is having lesser memory location, occupies lesser memory location than the transient program area. So, this system area will be having the programs which are loaded from the read-only memory or the permanent memory or flash memory, as we use cache. So, or RAM, any kind of memory can be taken as a system area. So, we will be having the memory map of the system area, where we will be having the components like video RAM for graphics and video RAM for text in the graphics, and the hard disk controller ROM, LAN controller ROM, free area, again it has the free area for extended microprocessor version, then basic language for accessing the DOS commands, and the BIOS system ROM. So, this is the memory map of the system area. Again, the memory locations of the system area are represented in the hexadecimal format. From it starts from A0000 to FFFFF. So, the entire system area is occupied within this memory location. More about the system area, we will be knowing about it in the next session. Thank you.